Yo, what's going on guys, and welcome to my Telos Phase 4 guide. This is one of the phases where there's a lot of stuff going on. Just like before, I had this color coded to where you can tell what special he's going to do first, depending on what special he did before you phased him out of Phase 3. Some things that you need to know about Phase 4 is his special attack bar. If it is all the way filled up, he can do the so much power. And at 100% enrage, this hits a 6,600 hit on you. And reflect is definitely your best friend. You want to reflect the fonts. The weak anima bomb also drains your overload, which is something you really need to keep your eye on because you're going to splash a lot if you're not overloaded, depending on how long the weak anima bomb is on you, on your character. Also, there are 3 golems that spawn at each font, and each one does something different. I'm pretty sure the pure golems, the green ones, don't really do anything. They just hit increasingly harder. The volcanic golems stun you very often, so you always want to anticipate and tag the red golem first with a bleed. The corrupted golems decrease your armor rating, and it stacks up to 100%, so basically it's like you're naked. So they make it to where you just get hit harder and harder and harder, and it continuously stacks up as long as they're alive. As soon as Phase 4 starts, you want to vuln immediately and then deal with the first special, this one being a charge because Phase 3 ended with a charge. Keep in mind that the phasing HP on Phase 4 is not displayed, so you cannot check the things, the small arrows at the top of the screen. At 100%, he phases into the first font at 93,000 HP. And the object of this is he charges up an insta-kill bomb, and you're supposed to charge up the font, and it protects you from this insta-kill bomb. You want to get into this font as fast as possible, and as soon as the minions spawn, you want to try to find the red golem and tag it with a bleed. Also anticipate into a reflect and get in the font as fast as possible. Then you use your AoE abilities on the golems and try to kill them before the font is over. If you get into the font fast enough, his special bar doesn't fill up all the way, but you do have to deal with at least one so much power on Phase 4 unless you skip it with DPS and stun locks. But that's more of an advanced method, and I'm not going to cover that. Also, keep in mind that however many auto attacks he did after doing a special, he still does 3 auto attacks in between each special. You can resonance the anima bomb, the weak anima bomb, to negate the damage. And I mostly do that out of a habit of doing it at higher enrages. It's better to debilitate Telos to half the damage and then heal yourself from the stun because it goes surge, weak anima bomb, stun. So if you end up using resonance to negate the damage from the weak anima bomb, you have to either debilitate and reflect, which is a waste for the stun, or you have to devotion it, which also negates the damage from that as well. And again, the phasing HP on Phase 4 is very strange, and it's hard to get used to because of the so much power. And basically, that is what it's all about. The entire phase is about phasing him properly, and at 100%, he phases into the second font at 62,500 HP. So the idea is to phase him and stun lock him directly after he does a special attack. If he does one auto attack, that's okay because you can stun him out of the font. The reason why you want to phase him like this is so you still have 2 auto attacks before he does his special after the insta-kill bomb. So again, you tag the red golem with a bleed, and most of the time I double bleed him and then debreath and chain and then anticipate, and then once I get into the font I reflect and then try to kill them as fast as possible with AoEs. You can even threshold them if you have to. And remember, if you're above 150% enrage, you can tag Telos and stun him and break his freedom while he is charging the bomb. Once he stands up, however many auto attacks he did before the font, which was 1, he does 2 auto attacks, and then he does the so much power. This attack is one of the hardest attacks to learn the timing for. And also the insta-kill bomb resets your defensives, so you have to wait a full global cooldown almost before you can do any defensives. So that's why as soon as the font's over, you want to asphyxiate Telos and then time the resonance or a barricade. timing that resonance is extremely hard because it's in between all of the minion hits if they're still alive and Telos' auto attacks. If you watch closely, there's 2 minions alive still, so they hit me twice and then this so much power hits me, and then Telos hits me, and then the golems hit me again. And also remembering this attack rotation is extremely, well, it's not really hard to do, it's just there's so much going on in this phase, it just takes a while to get used to. Also, if you are not in MD, he does hit you with magic hits instead of melee hits, even if he's not stunned. Sometimes he likes to just stay away. And like I said before, the phasing HP is weird. The last font, the phasing HP is 30,000, and it increasingly goes up by random amounts as his enrage goes up randomly. And at the end of this phase, honestly, you can Dedo out of this and auto Dedo wild magic asphyxiate, and most of the time if you have good RNG and you're still overloaded, because at this point in the fight you have to re-overload, it can phase him directly into phase 5. This is another phase 4 font 2 that I wanted to show you guys. So most of the time I'm used to devotioning a hold still, getting his HP very close, and while he's doing the animation you can threshold him and stun him and face him directly into the second font, and then bleed the golem, D-breath, chains, anticipate, reflect, and then AoE the golems down. I'm including this one because I dealt with the so much power differently. I'm going to show you guys a few ways to deal with the so much power. So coming out of this, I have 3 auto attacks before he does anything. I asphyxiate him, adrenaline pot, and then barricade. And if you have the perk turtling 3, then the barricade lasts long enough to where the second auto attack, or the second special attack, is also negated by the barricade. If you end up phasing Telos wrong, do you remember that Arcane Spirit Shield I told you about? This is where I'm going to show you why I have that in my preset, just in case I accidentally do this at the end of the font whenever he does the so much power. So he did 2 auto attacks, so that means he's going to do 1 auto attack and then he's going to do the so much power. So if you have a bunch of prayer points and you equip the Arcane Spirit Shield right before the so much power hits you, it has a huge chance to take a lot of that damage away. Something that would normally take you out or sign you would actually hit a 5.7k. This is a 140% kill, which isn't crazy, but it does hit quite high, and this Arcane Spirit Shield made it hit a 5.7k, which is fantastic, and I highly recommend bringing this with you to Telos if you're learning. I'm going to play through one of my cleaner P4s, and this is at 200% enrage, and this is where the phasing HP caps. And I'm going to put the phasing HP on the screen to the top left, so that is what you're looking at. And it goes up randomly from 100% to 200%, and it caps at 200%. So it's kind of hard to get used to, and you kind of have to guess a little bit and remember what the phasing HP into the fonts was on your last kill to guess what it is on the next kill. I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but in Phase 5, none of the specials are color coded because they are always the same. It is always minions, random virus, and then insta-kill bomb. If there's anything that you have questions about, feel free to ask me, and I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it helps, and I will see you in Phase 5.